with a rising debt problem. We've got inflation going on. We've got things happening where somebody's got to pay for those things. Who is that somebody, right? Point to somebody next to us.
Yeah.
No, it's us. It's us, the American taxpayer. How are we going to pay for that? Through income taxes out of your paycheck or through income taxes out of your 401ks and your IRAs. We're going to have to pay for this situation that our country is in. I am a fan of paying our taxes and being above the law, but I want to do it where it makes sense. So if it makes sense for the government to say, we know we're going to keep taxes the same for this period of time, then I'm saying I would hedge my bet on paying some of those taxes today, converting from IRA and 401k over to Roth. In case I'm right, and taxes go up in the future, I just took a chunk of my money, paid my taxes, but I did it while a so-called sale was going on right now.
We've been doing this for 20 years and serving hundreds of families. We're going to bring solutions to your situation.
How do you choose a financial advisor? How do you know who you should
That's
work
the
with?
value of that 210 core, moving everything towards a purpose on purpose.
Hey everybody, welcome to today's Your Retirement Blueprint podcast. My name's Kendall Stahl, and I'm here with the infamous Mr. Phil Cooper.
Hi everybody, welcome to the show.
What have you been up to? The weather is amazing.
Weather is amazing, yeah. The daylight is longer, which is good, right?
Yeah.
We've got more daylight now, and it's been warmer. I think, I'm going to knock on wood, I think I'm calling my shot here. The last snow of the season is behind us.
I don't know, man.
If you get snow in your area, I didn't say that, but if we don't get snow, you can give me the credit for that. I think the snow is gone.
This is the time of year where I hit my stride, because when the sun's shining and it's not dark at 5 o'clock,
you're rolling, huh?
I can get so
You don't
much
sleep
more done.
anyway.
I can get so much more done.
No, it's nice.
You can go home and you can play outside with the kids after work, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's I don't know about you, but with me, those long, dark, gray afternoons, I start to, like somebody unplug me. And I get some sunshine and some warmth. You're outside, you're moving, it feels good.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Spring has sprung. That's the point.
Now we just got to get through the mud and then we'll be good.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I have mud in my backyard. I was cleaning up stuff over the weekend.
Yeah.
Sticks and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like stepping on sponges in my backyard. It was soft and squishy, but that too shall pass. Baseball season is back. That's exciting.
Baseball fan.
Baseball season back. So spring, baseball, sunshine. It's going to be a good time.
We started soccer practice.
I know you did.
So
that's awesome.
My 4-year-old son is now taking soccer, or I guess not taking. He's in soccer practice.
He's training for the Olympics right now.
Yeah.
That's my grandson.
Yeah.
That's my grandson.
We got a ways to go. So our first game, I think, anyways, I'm pretty sure I heard right. Our first game is coming up this week. I'm pretty sure it's going to just be like herding cats. Like they're all just going to kind of follow the ball around.
In youth soccer like that, they move in a pod.
Yeah.
There's no positions. They just go where the ball is, and they all try to kick it at the same time.
Anyways, I don't really know if we're into soccer, but that's what we're doing right now. So
he's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I know.
Probably the greatest kid ever played the game.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It definitely is.
He's the Pele of Brimfield. Yeah.
He's got, like, we've got the aggression, like, we've got the will to win and all that.
Yeah.
That we're not real finessed, though. So.
The skill will come. He's got the heart of a lion.
Oh, man. Today's question comes from Bonnie from Fort Myers,
Hi,
Florida.
Bonnie.
By the way, my wife was just there. She left me at home. You know this because
I do know this. Yeah.
I didn't get to go. I had to stay home and work.
She was down there talking to Bonnie.
Yeah, Bonnie.
Hi, Bonnie.
Glad you could make it. All right, so her question is, you talk about your retirement blueprint plan often. What does that entail?
Yeah, good question, Bonnie. Thanks for sending that question to us. Okay, here's a retirement blueprint, and this is why you need one, okay? What is a blueprint, first of all? Blueprint is a set of plans to build something.
Yep.
I'm going to have a blueprint. I'm going to build a building. I'm going to lay a foundation. I'm going to put up a wall or a bunch of walls. I'm going to put some roof on there, some windows and some siding and some shingles and things. Why do I need that blueprint? Well, because if you're a builder like this guy, who I'm not a builder.
I was going to say you are.
You know I'm not a builder. If I have a screwdriver in my hand, usually something's about to go bad. If I need a blueprint, I need to know how long that wall is.
Yeah.
I need to know how tall that wall is, and I need to know whether that thing structurally is going to stand or not.
Yeah.
Financially, what is a blueprint? I need to know whether Bonnie's foundation is set. Bonnie, what is your foundation? That's your income. Where's Bonnie's income? Is it going to be enough now, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road? And then I can build walls for Bonnie that attach to the foundation. That could be her investment plan. Then I need a roof on this thing to keep out the hail and the snow. Bonnie's in Fort Myers. She did not deal with snow, but
Yeah,
the
must be
sunshine, the hail, the rain. What is that? That is more of like your insurance plan, your long-term care insurance, your health insurance, your life insurance.
Estate planning.
That's a retirement blueprint.
Yeah.
How is Bonnie's income?
Yep.
Does Bonnie have too much risk in her plan? Does Bonnie not have enough risk in her plan? Does Bonnie have enough liquidity to go do the things she wants to do? Does Bonnie have risk mitigation in case
Taxes.
these things like long-term care and health care rain down on her? So Bonnie, that's a long answer, but the point of the whole thing is there's a plan that covers all of these things because we think you're going to absolutely need to plan for those things because we will have health care for the rest of our lives. We will have taxes the rest of our life.
Yep.
We will have some kind of risk the rest of our life. And if you're blessed enough to have enough in your bucket, you're probably going to pass that bucket on to somebody else in the future. How do we get those dollars out to them in the most tax efficient way?
So, to sum it up, it's a plan that can get you to and through retirement.
From the womb to the tomb.
That's a new one. I haven't heard that one yet.
From the beginning to the end. Yes.
How many people do you know that have come out of the womb and have a retirement
My
plan?
grandson.
That's probably true.
My grandsons will be, they started at the womb. Yeah.
Yeah, all
that was
right,
fine.
fair enough.
Yeah.
I suppose there's maybe a few people that
Yeah.
are weird like that. But oh man, today's show, it's all about 401ks. Not everybody, but a lot of people have one. I think it's going to mean a lot to a lot of people. So let's just start at the bottom for today. So 401k is actually, what is a 401k? So if you go to the IRS tax code, which I do not encourage any of you to do, but if you did, and you went to line 401, subline K, it is going to tell you what a 401k is there.
Pretty
So
creative, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
That's the IRS. Yeah.
So 401k, typically something offered through your employer or somewhere you're working. There's also some stuff for self-employed people there, like a what am I trying to say? Not self-directed, single member or something.
Yeah, you can have a solo 401k.
Solo, that's
Yeah.
the word I was looking
Yeah.
for. Solo 401k. So a lot of people have them. Some people are lucky enough to have a match from their employer. So you put money in as the employee, the employer will match you. Some people are not. Who needs to be contributing to a 401k?
Yeah, that's a good question. Is that my question?
Yeah, sure.
You're throwing that to me?
Take it.
Who should be contributing to a 401k? I'm going to make a blanket statement, which I generally don't do.
Everybody?
I'm going to say if you have a job and it's offered to you,
Yeah.
do it.
I tell you what.
Especially if that company's going to match anything you're putting in there, that's their money. That's free money. Take it.
I was just going to say that. That's my biggest pet peeve. When someone comes in and says, hey, I was listening to some of the bigger financial talk show hosts on the radio whose names I won't mention, and they say, hey, don't contribute to the 401k, go get the debt paid off. Maybe that's true, but in most situations, unless it's credit card debt or something like that, then getting that match from your employer it's automatically doubling your money.
Why not? Yes.
Yeah. And so I hate it when people come in here and sit down and talk with us and they're not getting that full match.
Well, to give that kind of advice, to say stop contributing and go do this, pay that debt off,
Yeah.
you're telling that person to give up free money.
Yeah.
Don't do that. If the company's going to give you 1%, 2%, 3%, 10%, whatever they're going to give you, you give that too and make sure you're getting that company's free money because, yes, you can still accelerate some debt on the other side, but don't walk away from the free money.
Okay, so we're contributing to a 401k. Some people have a match, some people don't. I would say almost in every case, if you have a match, you should be contributing to 401k. If you don't have a match, you still should be. Maybe there's a better place to put your money. Maybe there isn't. That's kind of comes down to your individual situation, which you should probably talk to someone about. But I would say for today's conversation, we'll just say you should be contributing to your 401k, putting those dollars in there. Then probably the next decision or one of the two next big decisions would be taxes. So most 401ks nowadays have a Roth option inside of their 401k. And that's where if you put dollars in, those are going to be after tax dollars. And then when you turn around and take money out later in life, you're not going to have to pay any taxes.
Yeah.
And so, as obviously you know, and some of you that have been listening to our show for a while may know that we're a big proponent of paying taxes now, paying taxes today while they're on sale, because we just think taxes are going to go up in the future.
We do. And even if they don't, say they stay the same.
Yeah.
But you paid tax on those dollars today. Did you hurt yourself?
No.
Not at all. Because later down the road, well, first of all, let's define what a Roth is, okay?
Sure.
Let's go down that road first. If I don't come back to that point, grab me on that point.
Okay.
That was a great point.
That was a great point.
I don't even remember what it was. You grabbed me
put
on
it
that
up
point.
here and we'll come back to it.
that. So Roth was an actual person. Roth was a senator. He proposed this law, and his last name was Roth.
Yeah.
And it says you can put money into your 401k. We know that before taxes come out. And then the theory was over time, I put it in, I got a little bit of a break today, and over time I have this great big bucket called a 401k. And when I retire,
Yep.
theoretically, I was going to be in a lower tax bracket. I could reach into those pre-tax dollars and pull that out. The problem with it is we're seeing people today retire in the same, if not a higher tax bracket than when they were working.
Yeah.
So the problem is, should we continue to do that, or should we pivot just a little bit and begin to put our dollars into the Roth side of the 401k, which means they go in after taxes are paid, they grow tax-free, they come out tax-free, and if I'm in the same or higher tax bracket in retirement, that side of my 401k is all my money. If I leave it to my kids when I'm dead, that's all their money. No taxes will ever be due on that again. You're a farmer, you'll get this analogy. Would you rather pay taxes in the spring when you plant that seed in the ground? So a seed went in the ground, Kendall had to pay taxes on that seed. Or he said, I'll wait till later. I'll wait till that seed is planted, it germinates, it grows into a giant harvest, and then I'll pay tax on the full harvest later.
Yeah.
Well, I want to pay tax on the seed.
Yeah.
That's the Roth. You pay tax, it goes in, grows into harvest, it's all your money.
Also, the whole theory was, like you mentioned, you're going to be earning higher income while you're working, and then when you retire, you're going to be in lower tax bracket. Frankly, I don't know about you, but anybody that's successful at retirement doesn't take a pay cut when they retire.
They don't want to retire in less income. Yeah,
I don't want to.
No, I don't either.
So anyways, make sure that you're doing the right thing tax-wise, whether that's contributing to the Roth side of thing or the regular side of thing. Your contributions as the employee can go to the Roth side of the 401k if you have that option, which most of you probably do. There's some that won't. And then just so you know though, the company match, so the employer's dollars that go to the 401k are always going to go into the traditional side of the 401k,
yeah,
which is
okay.
fine. We'll still take it.
Just all you're doing here by doing this, folks, is you're paying your taxes where they're due.
Yeah.
I always say, pay unto Caesar what is Caesar's, not a doggone dime more, right? So I'll pay unto Caesar what I owe. I'll pay into the government what I owe, but I want to do it on this much money. And later when my bucket is great big, I want all that to be mine or my family's down the road.
I know it.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
You'll have more later.
Don't spend all that money. I could use some of it. What about back up real quick? Maybe we should have done this at the beginning, but couple rules with 401ks. So you put dollars in. You can't get them back out till you're 59 and a half in most situations. There's some nuances, nuances to that rule. So 59 and a half is a big age. 72 is another big age. Mm-hmm. That's what we call required minimum distribution. If you have dollars in that traditional regular side of the 401k, whatever you want to say, the dollars that you haven't paid tax on yet, come 72, if you're not taking dollars out, then the IRS is going to come knocking on your door and say, hey, it's time to start taking dollars out. And that starts at 72.
Correct.
Let's see. What else? Contribution limits, I guess. So if you're under 50, what is it now? Is it 19 or is it 20 now?
They've changed all the time. It's roughly $19,000. If you're under 50, you can put into your 401k. If you're over 50, there's something called a catch-up phase, and you can put more, up to $26,000 or something into this year.
Another quick little thing. A lot of people will contribute to a 401k and max it out is what people refer to, fill that limit up. And then they think that they can't put dollars anywhere else, but you can still contribute to a Roth IRA or a traditional IRA above and beyond.
Absolutely. There's a few people that they earn too much, but for the general population, you can do max out your 401k and come in here and put money in a 401 or an IRA, a Roth IRA. Absolutely.
Another one I run across every now and then is the IRA, so individual retirement account Roth. The limit on that is either $6,000 a year or $7,000 a year, depending on how old you are. And so a lot of people have got that stuck in their head that that's all they can put in the Roth side of their 401k, but that's not true.
Not true. 401k contribution limits, vastly different than IRA contribution limits. Something else people get hung up on too, and I've noticed this a lot lately, Kendall. I'm not sure why, but we're going to talk a minute about converting some dollars probably from IRA or 401k over to Roth side. And so people say, well, I can only do 7,000 a year or 6,000 based on my year. Not at all true. Contributions. In other words, I'm putting money out of my paycheck. I can only put this much in every year into my 401k, or I'm putting money out of my checking account into my IRA.
Yeah.
The government only lets you put this much in every year. But if I'm going to take a 401k or an IRA, if I'm going to convert that to a Roth and pay my taxes, how much can I do in any given year? As much as I want to.
Just don't forget you got to pay the tax bill.
Yeah, the tax man will stand there and we'll have your face at the IRS as customer of the month if we're not careful. But you can do the whole thing if you want to in 1 year.
Let's talk about that a little bit more. I don't want to get too deep because we already have done a show on taxes and retirement, which talks a lot about the Roth conversions, as we call them, that I'm going to bring up here. And I think that's that might be show 2 potentially. I'm not for sure. But anyways, 401ks, if you are going to convert dollars from a 401k to like a Roth IRA or whatever, as of right now, there aren't very many plans that let you do in-plan conversions, meaning you have to get those dollars out to an IRA in order to convert them to a Roth IRA. Now, coming down the pipeline, though, I think is going to be a lot more companies that start offering in-plan conversions, meaning you can take money from your 401k and you can convert it to your Roth 401k inside your plan, and those dollars don't ever have to leave. There's a few companies around here locally that are doing it. I think it's something that's going to be coming online. So if taxes is a concern to you, which it should be, if you've got dollars piled up inside that 401k, find out if you can do in-plan conversions, and then talk to somebody about what that means to you tax-wise. We got a bunch of stuff on our website, 210financial.com, that talks all about that too. So
You act like we've got a lot of urgency to this tax thing. We do, right?
Yep.
Why? What we think, we don't know. We're not lawmakers. We're not senators and congressmen, but we're math people.
we could fix this country if we were, though.
Vote for us, yeah. I'd vote for you.
Are you president and I'm vice, or is it the other way around?
I don't know what I'm doing. Here's my point, though. Why do you and I think now it's so urgent? Let me hear your answer on this, and then I want to give my answer, and we'll see if we match up. Why do you think it's urgent to be doing tax planning right now? If they have a 401k or an IRA, why should we be convincing them, or at least having some conversation about trying to convert that to Roth?
Yeah, taxes are going up. So
Well, how do you know that?
how do I know that? In the past, in 2020 and 2021, I'm not going to get these numbers exactly right, but all the debt that our nation has, or no, I'm sorry, back up. All the dollars that our nation has, 38% or something like that, were printed in 2020 and 2021.
That's amazing.
So if we're putting that much money into the system, how can taxes not go up to pay for it? On a completely other note, how is inflation not going to happen when you do that? But we don't need to open that can of worms right now. So that, and then right now, Trump administration, love him or hate him, doesn't matter. They lowered taxes back in 2017,
2018, yeah.
2018. And we are in historically, literally the lowest tax environment we've ever been in. Doesn't feel like it, but we are. Mm-hmm. And those are set to go back to where taxes were in 2017, the end of 2025.
And they'll inflation adjust every one of those years they gave us a break. So they're not going back to where they were in 2017.
Right.
They're going back to where they were plus inflation adjusted.
Yeah.
Kendall touched on national debt. It's rising every day at a breakneck pace.
Yeah.
We've got an aging population. We've got an already difficult situation with Social Security and Medicare.
Yeah.
With a rising debt problem. We've got inflation going on. We've got things happening where somebody's got to pay for those things. Who is that somebody, right? Point to somebody next to us? No, it's us. It's us, the American taxpayer. How are we going to pay for that? Through income taxes out of your paycheck or through income taxes out of your 401ks and your IRAs. We're going to have to pay for this situation that our country is in. I am a fan of paying our taxes and being above the law, but I want to do it where it makes sense. So if it makes sense for the government to say, we know we're going to keep taxes the same for this period of time, then I'm saying I would hedge my bet on paying some of those taxes today, converting from IRA and 401k over to Roth. In case I'm right, and taxes go up in the future, I just took a chunk of my money, paid my taxes, but I did it while a so-called sale was going on right now.
Not a tax show, but this is what I like to say. Everybody's like, diversify your investments. And then I go sit with all the baby boomer generation, and they haven't diversified their taxes at all. It's all sitting in an IRA or 401k.
And Kendall, you alluded to something. We're not tax professionals, but we
Yeah.
deal with IRAs and 401ks every day. And if you have a 401k or an IRA, you're going to deal with taxes.
Yeah.
So even though we got to be careful on how much tax advice we're giving, we are telling you there's a taxable situation in your future.
Okay, so we've got a 401k, we're contributing, we're getting the tax thing figured out. Next big decision is how are we going to invest the dollars inside of the 401k? Every company is going to be a little different. Some companies are going to have 10 different options for you. Some are going to have 100. Some of them have what they call a self-directed window, which opens the world up to you and you can do whatever you want to do as far as investment-wise. Very popular thing is target date retirement funds. Which is basically just designed to, you pick a date, so 2030, 2040, whatever. The closer you get to those dates, the less and less risk you have. We need to make sure that you understand how much risk you have in your 401k for a couple of reasons. One, just to simply make sure you don't have too much or you have enough. And two, it's an emotional thing too. So like some of these people, maybe like mathematically or plan building or whatever says we can take on more risk, but they just can't handle it.
Everybody loves risk when the market's moving up. Everybody loves risk when the market's moving up. I don't know if you heard that. Everyone loves risk while the market's moving up.
Yeah.
You'll find out quickly if you do not like risk when we go into a decline of a 10, 20, 30, 40% decline. That's when people say, I can't handle this. And they'll make an emotional decision, which is the wrong decision to make.
Yeah. One of the things that, so I've been in the industry 7, 8 years now. So I haven't really lived through any market corrections up until COVID time, 2020. And the biggest thing that I learned in that situation was people either had no idea how much risk they had, or they did and they thought that they could handle it until it came down to the time of handling it. So find out how much risk you got inside of 401ks, and when you're making those investment choices, I guess what are some tips, tricks?
Yeah, a couple of things. Assess. Here's how we would help you assess how much risk you have inside of that plan. We would look at the investments and tell you what the risk level is, but then we would ask you the time frame upon which you're going to reach in and begin to pull some of those dollars out for yourself. If the answer is a long time down the road, then theoretically you can probably handle a little bit more of the ups and downs of the market. If these are grocery dollars for next week,
Yeah.
if you're retiring, you're going to reach in there. We need to be yanking some of that risk backwards because you're going to need that money sooner than potentially what a market could give you back through a recovery. So we could help you decide how much risk you have and then help you design a portfolio for that. Or if, like you mentioned earlier, if they have a self-directed brokerage account option in their 401k, in most cases, we can go in there with them, choose the investments for them, and then monitor them on a daily basis for them. That's a very powerful tool. Not all plans offer that, but most will. And if there's a self-directed brokerage account, we can go in there with you and help you choose those investments.
Yeah. So seeking advice is a big thing when it comes to
investment,
choosing your investments. So Vanguard, and then also the Pacific Financial Group has put together a study on comparing people that just kind of go in there and set it and forget it, pick stuff on their own, to those that actually seek advice. And what their studies have shown is that the people that seek advice with their 401ks have come out 3% net of fees and all of that by seeking advice.
3% better.
Better.
Yeah, 3% better.
Yeah. And one of the biggest things, so then they break it down, right? And they say, here's why and here's where it came from. And so back to 2020 when the market crashed, me kind of going through that situation and learning, making sure that people don't make rash decisions when that happens is a big thing.
If emotions are your decision-making tool, it's going to be a difficult thing for you to be successful in investing. Because when the market's going up, you'll sit on the sidelines and wait for it to go up.
Yeah.
By the time it's up, then you think, oh, it's going to go on up, and we get in high.
Yeah.
And then it goes whammo, goes to the bottom, and you get scared and you run. What did you just do? The exact opposite of what you're supposed to do with investing.
Yeah.
You bought high, you sold low. It's supposed to be the other way around. How we step into this is we have zero emotional ties to your money. Now, it's not to say we don't care about it, but it's not our money. We can make very logical, rational, intelligent, non-emotional decisions and say, stay the course, because we have a plan, the blueprint we talked about. We have a plan that wraps around that. We know how much risk you should take based on your goals. Stay the course. the outcome would be much greater in your favor.
It sounds kind of silly, but just having an advisor, or what they're calling in their study a behavioral coach, to do just that, because like I said, everybody thinks they can handle the risk until it comes around, and then just having someone to you joke about this, but literally 2008 or whenever the market crashes, our job turns from
Managing money to managing emotions.
Exactly.
Tell
Yep.
people don't jump. Don't
Yep.
jump. Don't jump. Stay
Yep.
the course. You bet.
So what they're saying is, just by having some sort of an advisor, or what they call behavioral coach, that accounts for almost all of that 3%. A couple other things they're talking about is asset allocation, which we've talked about a little bit. How much risk should you have? How much should you not? And then making sure you're actively rebalancing things. So some people are going to go buy a few funds inside their 401ks, and it's just going to do its thing. And they're never going to rebalance. And if you don't, what does that turn into?
Potentially.
Sure, potentially.
Here's what, for example, what we're seeing right now.
Yep.
For the first time in a decade, we're seeing rising interest rates. We haven't seen rising interest rates for a long time.
Yeah.
We saw falling interest rates. They went all the way down to zero. You can get a car loan at zero. You can get a savings account at zero, right? You can get a CD at zero. So interest rates were here.
Yeah.
So what people did years ago, they put money in their 401k. They chose a few mutual funds. Maybe something said growth fund. Well, they thought, oh, I like growth. Growth is good. Put some in there. They put some in value. Oh, I like value. Put some in value. Then they put some over in a bond portfolio, because bonds are supposed to be the safer portion of your portfolio. So you had some mutual funds, stocks, and you had some bonds. Here's the issue we're running up against. And this is what I'm going to really caution anyone listening to the show today. I want you to picture a child's teeter-totter with me for just a moment. If you put bond prices on one side and interest rates on the other, when interest rates the last decade went down, the value of the bonds kept going up. It was a really good investment. Well, today we're in an interest rate environment where interest rates are going to begin to creep up. The place you ran to safety, the bond piece, it's going to go this way.
Yeah.
We've got to be very, very careful on that just set it and forget it mentality. It's got to be set it and adjust it. Reset it, readjust it.
Yep.
Reset it, readjust it. And that's where the value that we bring to our clients.
Not too often. You don't want to be in there every day normally, but
No.
just making sure
But it needs to be
things aren't getting out of whack.
following their goals. Absolutely.
Okay, tax management's the other big one. Makes up a piece of that. We already talked about that. We don't need to talk about it. So when you add up all those different things, having somebody that can sit there and manage your emotions, so to speak, because it's not their dollars, making sure you have the right asset allocation, rebalancing, making sure taxes are right, that all adds up to 3% in your pocket, at least according to Vanguard study and TPFG study. Obviously, I'm sure it's different for everybody. So what else? What else do we need to talk about with 401ks?
Do it.
Yep.
Do it the right way.
Yeah.
Do it in a way that benefits you and your family and not the IRS in
Yep.
the future.
Okay, so we should have had a website, but what we can do, I think, is we can put a QR code in the show notes. So for all of you that are saying, man, I got a 401k, I don't know what I'm doing, I need help. I tend to make rational decisions when things jump around. Scan that QR code and it'll pull up a link to our calendars, and we can talk about
Great.
how we can help you if you're someone
Great.
that thinks you could use a little help.
Very good. I love it.
Okay.
Yep, get in it.
Well, that's pretty much it on 401ks. But last thing for the day is tip of the day. Okay, or tip of the show, I guess it would
You
be.
have a tip for us?
I got a tip.
right.
So, I'm a note taker. Like I tend to do too many things, and so I write things down in a yellow pad. And then not long ago, I realized I had more than one yellow pad, and it ended badly. And so at that point in time, I had 3 yellow pads. I had one in my backpack, one on my desk, and one at home. And it wasn't working out. So my wife, I just had a birthday, okay? 31 years old, all right? So my wife bought me this thing called a Remarkable. And it's an electronic notebook.
I saw
And
that.
you can build out notebooks for different things and then add different notebooks to that. It's unlimited amount of notebooks.
Wow.
And it feels like paper.
Boy, that's right up your alley, buddy.
So everybody should get one of these. Also, Remarkable, if you're listening, we could use a few ads on our show. So I'm willing to sponsor it if you're willing to pay. That's my tip of the day.
That's called a Remarkable.
Yeah.
Do I need one of those?
I don't know.
The reason I say that, I look right over there on the table.
Yeah.
There's my yellow tablet.
Yeah, there it is.
I've got one in my bag and I've got one at home. It's starting to sound familiar.
I like it. I don't know. Here's the one problem I have
Okay.
seen with it. Okay. The pen. You got to keep track of the pen for it too.
Isn't that kind of what you do with the yellow pad too?
Well, yeah, but there's unlimited
You got
amounts
unlimited
of pens.
pens.
This pen
That's a different
it's not.
pen.
it's like specific to it. So I
See,
can't
now you have to be
lose it.
responsible.
Exactly.
Okay, I see
The
the
joke
problem.
around the office is that I never keep pens.
There's
I
no
always-
joke around the office. If I have a good pen in my office and it's gone, I know where it is. He took it. It's on his desk. I know where to go retrieve
probably
it.
true.
It is true.
That's about it for today, isn't it? We
Good
should
show.
admit. We should admit what happened. We actually
This is take number 2.
This is take 2.
We did a tremendous show. This is more tremendous.
It's way better.
We did a great show the first time. We forgot to push the record button.
Jeez. We're still new at this
We're
thing.
practicing.
Anyways, until next time, guys. We'll see you soon.
Thanks for watching.